Man, what is happening, my YouTube family? Of course, it is your boy B New. I'm coming at you on this Tuesday. And first and foremost, as always, just want to send out positive vibrations and blessings to anybody who could be listening. Now, with all that being said, we do know that the Los Angeles Lakers, man, I tell y'all what, I'm excited. I am excited about the upcoming season. I know a lot of people, said, well, you had that enthusiasm last year and the Lakers didn't win a game in preseason. Well, damn it, the Lakers won a game in preseason now. So let's get that part out the way, as if preseason really matters. The main thing that preseason really does is get you tuned up for the regular season, especially in the NBA, because some of the hardest part of getting back into basketball shape, you can work out all summer, but to get into basketball shape, is that first couple of weeks of camp when you get a lot of running in, a lot of sprinting in, and a lot of up and down the court drills that allows you to get into basketball shape. But until you get into the real game, you don't start feeling it in your legs and in your wind until you start to play a few games. And with the Lakers doing that, you got to realize what they came out the gate and played, 3 games in 4 nights? 3 games in 4 nights. Had a back-to-back in Vegas, then another game before they could come home and get their legs back up underneath themselves and get rested. Now, at this point, now they feeling like they in mid-season action. You understand what I'm saying? But it's so many bright spots for the Los Angeles Lakers, I don't know where to begin. So, just talking about this latest victory in which LeBron James did not play. Speaking of which, so let me just say this. That's a bright spot. LeBron James didn't play, and the Lakers got a victory. You understand me? Now, I will say this. The Lakers, even though that was their only preseason victory, I don't judge preseason games by wins and losses. Kind of like with the NFL. The NFL, they have these walkthroughs. It's not really until that 3rd game. And then the 4th game, they sit everybody. So like that 3rd NFL preseason game is real. You understand what I'm saying? So all the other ones, you don't really look at it to get a good gauge of what your team is really doing. But what I will say this is, with the Lakers, they won every first half. And that's where it really matters, because that's when the starters was in. So every first half of the preseason, I want to say that they won. It's not one season. Now, if this car hit me, it's going to be his fault, because he need to yield. So he didn't slow down. If I get hit, y'all, I got it on camera, and we're going to go ahead and get paid. And for everybody who's watching the video, I'm going to send everybody $1. You know what I'm saying? But now, real talk, the Lakers are looking good. They won every first half, so that lets me know that LeBron missed the game, they still winning the first half. AD missed the game, they still was winning the first half. So I think the Lakers have a very capable roster this year, and I think they vastly improved that roster, because last year you didn't have anybody who you can really depend on. Austin Reeves was streaky, but I think he's getting a lot better because he's in his 2nd year and he's building a whole lot of confidence. But other than Austin Reeves from last year, Wesley Matthews, Wayne Ellington, you didn't really have anybody who you could depend on, especially with the carousel of players not getting continuous minutes. So, I just feel like, with all the young legs now, even though they are kind of overloaded in the backcourt, I just feel with the Lakers roster that they can get very versatile when need be. And I just, after the game, Anthony Davis scored 28, looking good in both games he's played in. He shot 50% from 3, even though it was 2 out of 4. But I want to bring up that of Matt Ryan. We're not talking about Matt Ryan, who used to play for the Falcons, or still does. I don't even know if he retired or not, because he started getting real sorry. He might have. Forgive me, Falcons fan, if that's the case. But, this is the NBA channel. I'm not focusing on that. So back to what I'm saying. Matt Ryan, who the Lakers came in to give Cole Swift, whatever his name, man, y'all know who I'm talking about, give him some competition. Swile, Swift, whatever his name is, they came in to give him some competition. And Matt Ryan, I'm telling you what, is doing that, because if you look at Cole's shooting, he's only shot, 4 out of 24 the past 3 preseason games, whereas Matt Ryan came in last game, and I know one game doesn't speak everything, but 6 out of 9 from 3, baby. That's what the Lakers need. And although he's not a great defender, not a good defender at all, more than likely, from what I've seen, I haven't seen a whole lot of him, but just from what I heard from different reports as well, that he isn't a great defender, but he is a hell of a shooter. So went back and looked at the statistics of him in the when he played for the G League. I don't know if you all know this, but Matt Ryan led the G League in 3-point shooting. And he was a high volume 3-point shooter. He shot 10 threes a game, and he made 4 out of those 10 a game. He shot 40%. And that's exactly what the Lakers need, is some outside shooting. So he may have earned himself a way on the roster And, the Lakers can go ahead and sign him right now. They don't have to give him a guaranteed contract until January the 10th. They can go ahead and open up a two-way contract for him. And I might get rid of that cold guy and just go ahead and get Matt Ryan on there. And I don't want to just make a hasty decision like that. But like I said, the Lakers need a three-point shooter, somebody they can depend on. And I think that's not streaky. He did it all in the G League. Then he came in the other night against Golden State, a good quality team, and he hit 6 3-pointers, and that was big time, and it helped contribute to the win. So, I'm all for it, especially, even though he might not be a true three or true forward, he does play that 3 spot, and that's where the Lakers are thin at, because the Lakers are so top-heavy in the backcourt with Nunn and now Dennis Schroeder. And speaking of Dennis Schroeder, I want to touch on that for a moment. Dennis Schroeder has come back and made his way back from Germany and had his physical and everything checked out, so he was available at the Lakers practice the other day. And he said some interesting things, and I'm going to share with you all just in case you did not know. Dennis Schroeder was drafted to the Atlanta Hawks, of course. Most people do know that. And, who other than was his assistant coach who helped draft him and actually was his responsibility, none other than Darvin Ham. So Darvin Ham was the one that was responsible for Dennis Schroeder, whether it was to, in the words of Darvin Ham, put an arm around to keep him, give him encouragement, to show him what playing on the NBA level is like, to scrimmage against him in practice, and to help him, do everything it takes to become an NBA player, which, of course, coming from where he came from, I think he's done a mighty good job. And you can't speak enough on Dennis Schroeder's play and how he played in the summer league over in Europe for the international games for Germany. I mean, he played a hell of a game. He wasn't the best of a three-point shooter, but the way he led his team and the way they competed, was very, I would just say, very good for him, because, Dennis Schroeder, we all know when he played for the Lakers, he was very tenacious on the defensive end of the floor, which I think is something that he is going to bring to the table as far as him being able to be a menace, like LeBron dubbed him, Dennis the Menace. So, with the Lakers, I know a lot of talk right now is if Anthony Davis is going to be at the 5 position. I still think right now the Lakers should not necessarily start Anthony Davis at the 5 position. If they do start him at the 5 position, though, I think with their starting lineup, I think they should go small on the wings and have a start. And Russell Westbrook is going to start, so let's not get that twisted. So I'm saying that just for the sake of it. And I think actually Russell Westbrook is going to have a much better season, and depending on his play on the first few months of the season, whether or not he'll get dumped off in a trade before the trade deadline of some team trying to empty up their roster, because once they sign him, he only has to play through the rest of the season. Then his contract is over with, and that team wouldn't have to pick him up, and that's going to clear up $45 million of cap space for whatever team who may be interested in, getting some money off their books. So I think Russell Westbrook is capable of having a good season as long as he can come in with the philosophy that Darvin Ham needs him to play with, and that means, showing more activity on the defensive end, but also being able to play freely. And so far, speaking of playing freely, that's what Anthony Davis was saying. He said he couldn't say freedom. I don't know if y'all saw that clip. He couldn't think of the word and blamed it on his Kentucky education. But, he just said he feels more free in the offense. He's not constricted to a box, kind of like Vogel. Even if he was at the 5, I'll play this your portion of the floor. No, feel free to roam and just let everybody go out and hoop. There's a free-flowing offense that Ham has initiated. You could tell the difference. You could tell the hustle. And like Anthony Davis said, when you do have that freedom on offense and you having fun, it make you want to go out and give it your all more, even on the defensive side of the floor. So, let's just say Anthony Davis does start in the 5, because Ham did say that was under heavy consideration that he could start in the 5. So Darvin Ham saying that, if he starts in the 5, then I think, like I said, they should go small, and their starting lineup should be that of Russell Westbrook at the 1. I would say go ahead and put Kendrick Nunn at that 2. That way you still have some shooting. And then with Russell Westbrook, you have some playmaking ability. Not necessarily somebody who can stretch the floor, of course, but capable of hitting some corner threes if need be, an occasional 3 if he has to. But at the end of the day, he can put pressure on the defense, get downhill, and kick it out to a Nunn and get Nunn some open looks. But also, when you had Nunn in that 2 spot, you can go small and put Pat Bev in that 3 spot, in my opinion, because then you would have proven starters right there in your 1 through 3 spots. And then, of course, none other than LeBron James, who play at that 4 spot. And we know he is capable of stretching the floor. And what we've seen so far out of Anthony Davis this year at the 5 spot, he is totally capable of stretching the floor as well. So if the Lakers can stretch the floor from the 4 spot and the 5 spot with LeBron James and Anthony Davis, and then Pat Bev, he's a capable knockdown shooter, and he's a great defender. So then the Lakers can have Anthony Davis anchoring the defense. You can have LeBron James, who can still play good defense when he needs to at spots. And then you can still have Pat Bev, who can pick up that slack on the wing as far as playing the defense. And then you have Kendrick Nunn, a capable shooter, and Russell Westbrook and LeBron James as your 2 playmakers. Now, once you start to stagger that, the Lakers so deep after that, you can bring in a Schroeder. For Westbrook, or even if you stagger it, then you can put Nunn at that 1 spot. You can put Pat Bev at that 1 spot, coming off the bench. Even though I just said that was in the starters, I know what I'm saying, but I'm talking about as far as staggering that minutes. But of course, you still would have Lonnie Walker, who has showed some good signs of being a capable shooter as well. And then, of course, none other than Austin Reeves, who can come in and play either that 2 or 3 spot, depending on how small you're going. I think Troy Edwards can come in and give you some good time. I think Juan Toscano Anderson can come in. He's a capable playmaker. I already saw him throw a couple of oops to AD, so he's capable of penetrating and getting the ball and being a playmaker, as well as knocking down some threes. And we all know at Golden State, he was a pretty capable knockdown 3-point shooter. So you had Toscano Anderson, who's capable of doing that. You got Troy Brown, who's capable of also playing that spot. And then, like who I just mentioned, Matt Ryan, somebody who's capable of getting it done. And then let's not forget Wayne and Gabriel, who can come in and play either that 4 or that 5, depending on how they stretch the floor. Now, that was all with AD starting at the 5, but of course, when AD come out, you would have Damian Jones and Thomas Bryant, who are totally capable of playing that center position and being athletic centers and rim protectors. So then, even if you decided to, go traditional with the starting lineup, I think you can really have, Russ as your 2. I would say still put Russ as your 1. I would still say put Kendrick Nunn as your 2, because he's the best 3-point shooter and he can play pick and roll. Then I say move LeBron over at your 3, and then you can put AD at the 4, and then you can put Damian Jones at the 5. And then if you do like that, then you still have plenty of room to bring Schroeder in behind Westbrook. You could bring Pat Bev in behind Nunn. You could bring Troy Brown Jr. or Lonnie Walker, anybody to come in, or Toscano Anderson to come in and play that 3 spot, of course. And then, like I said, you can bring in Bryant to back up Jones in the 5 spot. So I think the Lakers, man, they more than capable. I love the roster construction this year. It is a hell of a lot better than what it was last year. And anytime you got a LeBron James and just something else, man. You saw what he did with that Cleveland team, and I know people keep saying he's not capable of making up, and like Chris Broussard say that dumb stuff. He's not capable of making up and winning games on his own and carrying teams when they're struggling and blah, 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 all by himself. Man, listen, if he got a decent squad, he does. Last year, that squad was terrible, man. That squad was terrible, and it showed it. And anytime LeBron missed a significant amount of time, which he missed a whole lot of it, and anytime AD missed a significant amount of time, which he missed a whole lot of it, then you saw what happened. You saw that there was a great lack of chemistry and a lack of focus and a lack of defense, no perimeter defense. Now you do have some wing defenders and some perimeter defenders who are capable of getting after it. So with all that being said, man, I'm ready for this season. I'm excited for this season. I can't wait till the kickoff next Tuesday, man. Put down in the comments who y'all think should be the starters, the top 5 starters. If you think AD should be your center, put that down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. And as always, man, hit that bell, like, subscribe, share, man. Let's get me up off this band list, you know what I'm saying? So let's get it going. And as always, man, right on to the real. Like I said, hit that bell, hit that little subscribe. It's right somewhere. Hold on, right there. Hit that subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? And that bell, and go ahead and make it do what it do. But anyway, this is your boy B New. I'm saying right on to the real. Much love to these haters. Lakers, baby. I'm out.